Hi guys, happy Thursday. Hope everyone is doing well. It is still Thursday morning here in Southern California, and as of right now, Uber and Lyft are still up and running. However, Lyft did officially announce today, and I'm just going to read it to you guys. This is from CNN Business. Lyft said Thursday it would suspend service in the state by end of day if an appeals court doesn't grant its request to delay an order to reclassify its drivers as employees. Uber said earlier this week that it would also suspend services by midnight Thursday. So that is today. So kind of really crazy. This is pretty major for anyone that's involved who drives for Uber and Lyft. I'm really wondering what a lot of people who do drive for Uber and Lyft think about it. I literally just took an Uber the other day and had a really great conversation. I always try to strike up conversation with the drivers and just kind of see, why they drive. This guy in particular, he was retired. Him and his wife own a rental property, and then they have their own home that they live in. However, they've been having a hard time finding a renter for their rental property. So one of the main reasons why he's been driving was to offset that cost of that second property that he had. And he seemed kind of concerned about, having that additional cost, especially during these crazy times that we're in. So a lot of people really depend on this, and if I was an Uber driver, I'd be really thinking to myself right now, what are my other options? So kind of really crazy what's going on. It'll be interesting to see what happens at midnight tonight. And one of the things that I was curious about is, especially a lot of Uber drivers, of course, you have your car that you also use to drive with on the side and make money or whatever it might be. But then there is also a segment of Uber and Lyft, which is kind of like the Uber Black. I forget what Lyft calls it. I don't know if it's called Deluxe or something like that. I was really wondering kind of what those people are thinking. I used to know some people who had some really nice cars like Mercedes-Benz S550, E450s, blacked out, super high-end Suburbans and Escalades, because they would classify themselves under that Uber Black category, which of course they earn a premium on that. And I knew people who were making $5,000-$6,000 a month, but their car payments, because they had such nice cars, were $2,000, $2,200 a month, still getting a decent take at the end of the day. Now this was a while back, so I'm not sure how things have progressed since then, but for those people, I'm really wondering where markets like LA are probably really great for the premium services like that. I'm wondering what they're thinking about doing. I think that this could potentially be a good time for a marketplace like Turo, because people who do have super deluxe cars like S550s and E450s or 7 Series BMWs that they may have been driving with, they could definitely list them on the platform. They'd be categorized under that super deluxe category so that you don't have to offer an arm and a leg when it comes to miles, and they can still get pretty decent day rates. So, if you're an Uber driver out there, I would love to hear from you guys, or Lyft drivers. What are your options? What are some of your choices out there? What's kind of going through your minds? AB5 went into place in January, and I think a lot of people just didn't really realize the severity of it, and for how many months it's been now. We're now in August that Uber and Lyft have been trying to appeal this decision. I don't think that people thought that this would be the outcome of it and that things would get this dire. And again, I can't say it enough, this legislation is also on the federal level. It's called the PRO Act. Google it, read about it. It's literally AB5 copied and pasted on a federal level. So if this goes into effect nationwide, that could be really crazy. I know companies like Uber and Lyft and Postmates are putting a lot of money behind lobbying to really stop that from going into effect on a federal level, because of course that would crush their business models. I know one of the things that I was reading is that moving forward, what they're thinking in terms of operations in California, should the courts not overturn this, is a franchise model. So I believe, I could be wrong about this, but just from the gist of what I read, they might be really trying to target fleet owners who would then hire drivers. So again, one of the things that we notice in common with all of these marketplaces is the transference of risk. They want to push that risk onto somebody else and not be liable for that, and how their business models work. That's how Turo runs as well. So it's kind of really interesting. Might not be a bad time if you are in that position where you are finding yourself with this car. Maybe you purchased it exclusively for ride sharing with Uber and Lyft. If you want to list your car on Turo, this could be a really good time. If you just have that extra car and you need it to drive for Uber and Lyft because you need to offset some expenses, or you're laid off, or whatever it might be, you could list it on Turo. It's another way to go, that's for sure. That's really interesting. I think that a lot of people are going to find themselves in a predicament. So definitely chime in, guys. I'm super curious to know what you guys are thinking out there, what you think your options and choices are, and which direction you're going to move in. And do you think that tonight at midnight that they are going to suspend services here in California? That would be nuts. I know personally, I can speak from a personal experience. I had a family member who did not get laid off or furloughed, but his particular industry, because he's in the events industry, they do audio and visual type of stuff for conventions and concerts and things like that, which obviously has taken a major hit. So work is just pretty much dead. So I know he signed up to drive for Uber to kind of offset his cost, and now that's not really an option anymore. So, I think a lot of people are going to find themselves in this predicament. So what are your choices? If I was an Uber or Lyft driver, I would be thinking about what are my choices right now and what can I do that I can act on pretty quickly? Is Turo an option? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. All right, you guys, on that note, I'm going to wrap it up for right now. I might be back later with you guys. Thanks for watching. Once again, my name is Saimah. This is Saimah's Experience. I found my highlighter, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.